Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again. Okay, so there's another update to the power station family. This big guy. Alright, this is the E500LFP. Pecron was nice enough to send us one of these to test and review for you guys. They never send us any money, but every once in a while, like Bluetti and other companies, they'll send us a power station because they know that we like power stations and we love to talk about them. So, let's open this bad boy up here. Let me get the trusty dusty knife here. Chop this open here and let's see what this power station has to offer the power station family. Alright, that's done. Double-walled cardboard. I like that, guys. I like that right off the bat. Let me just pop this open real quick here. And there we go. And now we have one more box for Ramblin Bobcat to play with. And then we have, and that foam thingy, that foam insert, boy, she likes sitting in that thing. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got the protective bag. This is the instructions and the Pecron powered possible. That's the registration thing. So you get extended warranty if you go to the website and put all your information in, and then you get extended warranty. Okay, so put those over here. Let's take this bad boy out. Looks like there's a pouch on the back of that thing too. Okay, so this is the trusty dusty E500LFP. So this is one step above the E300LFP. Double the batteries. Let's see here what we got to offer here. Oh, it's got a peely. Oh, Mrs. Ramblin Bob is gonna be mad. Look at what I'm doing. Okay, she's had a late night, so she's sleeping. So I got up real early, and I wanted to see if there was any mail, and this was at the doorstep. So, all right, let's turn it on here. See, let's turn on the AC. There you go. And then let's turn on the DC. Make sure she all works good. Is the DC on? All right, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, okay, so it doesn't show up on the screen. It just says output. Let's try it again. Make sure. Let's turn the AC off. Maybe it just has one output symbol because the screen is kind of small. Let's see. Turn on the DC. Yep, there you go. So you have input and output. So other than the lights here, you don't know if one is on or not. So let's see here. Turn them both on. And it shipped at 67% power. Look at this bad boy. Wow. That's the Hovatech port. And then you got here 24 volt 5 amps, 12 volt 5 amps. That's nice. That's nice to have, guys. That's really a nice feature. If you run like a ham radio or something that's a little bit higher in the voltage, you can put it on there. The Any Audi 100 watts, that's awesome. And then you got two USB 15, at least 15 or 18s. Those are 18s. That's awesome. So quick charge 3, and then you got two receptacles. Now they did the same with the the E300. Let me show you that one, guys. So this is the E300 here. And turn this one on here. And either one of these you can use with an app. They both have wireless charging for your phone up here, so that's nice. I don't use wireless charging, but the wifey does, so we'll leave that for her. Same ports. Now there's a little bit of a difference between these systems. Let's look at the pouch first before we get into all the specs. Let's see what you get in the pouch. Nice little pouch. You can put this on your bike or something like that when you travel. Or maybe the top of the tent. You can hang it up there. That's pretty cool. I do like those hard boxes that they used to give you, but they stopped giving those away. A lot of times they go to pouches. That's normal. You know, companies always downsize. Okay, as long as they don't downsize on the quality of the system, that's the big thing. All right, so here's your little protector. You take that off. All right. These things, guys, you always get these things. Keep them. You might need them. Easy way to roll them up, guys. Real simple. I've got thousands of these over the years. Okay, so you just take this side and then you roll it up like this. And it is simple. Okay, there you go. All right, there you go. Simple, but I'm struggling with it. And then you just roll it up like that, and then they stay like that in a circle, and they don't get all tangly. And you just plop them in a drawer like that. See a little circle like that. Okay, we'll just toss that over there. And then this also comes with a cigarette lighter. Look at this, guys. All right. So now we officially have the entire Pecron family of every power station that they sell. We have the E300LFP, the E500LFP, the E600LFP, the E1500LFP, the E2000LFP, and the 36 LFP, the Big Daddy. That's the one, guys. We like that one. Holy cow! But these are great for portable, or if you're new. You know, if you're new into if you're new into solar, you don't want to run out and buy a $5,000 system. You know, make sure that you try a small one like this and see if you like it first, and then you can upgrade later. Here, oh, look at that. I noticed. So you got 60 hertz. You hit the button and you got 22.1 hours. So you can have that switching here. See, 17.8 hours and 118 volts. So notice, oh, and 60 hertz. So notice that this one just has, let's see, hours, voltage, and hertz. So you get the same thing on both. Okay, let's go back to the hours, and then this one changes the voltage of the battery. So let's see. So you got 19.8 and 19.7 respectively. So this is probably, is this 100% or is this 50%? Oh, this is 100%. Okay, so this might be a bigger battery. Let's see. Let's see what the old specs see here. 30 amp hour, 19.2 volt. It shows 19.2 volt, but on here it shows 19.8 volt. That's kind of strange. Well, let's do a charge. We'll charge this in the background while we yap about it. All right. Oh, you also get, guys, you also get on the side, you also get the same ports, which is the lights. I think you hold them down. Yep. Okay, so you get the lights, and then, which is very nice, guys. Always have lights on your power stations. All companies listening, please put lights on your power station. That's very important, because what if you got an emergency and you can't see, right? If you're in the dark. I think lights are important. Okay, so here's the 100 watt input max, 12 to 28 voltage. That's open circuit voltage. Guys, don't ever go over open circuit voltage. That's very dangerous, and you won't have a power station anymore. And then there's your charging. 6 amps at 100 to 120 volts. So I believe that is 100 watts. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I think it limits it to 100 watts. So we'll plug this bad boy in here, and then I will charge it while we yap about it. And we'll see what it does to the voltage. It shouldn't take that long. And this is your car charger. So this is your barrel. It should be 5521. It sure looks like it. And then that can go into the side, of course. I'm glad it doesn't fit here, because, you know, people make mistakes and plug it in there and then they burn out stuff. So that's a good thing that they change these. These might be 5525s, and this is 5521. So obviously it doesn't fit. That's a nice thing that Pecron did, because, like I said, people will plug this in and then plug it in here and burn out their board on there. So that's not a good thing. All right, so we're going to leave the voltage up here. Now remember, this system said it was according to the side of it here. Let's turn it this way while it's charging here. Let's turn this one. This one's not listed on there. Is it on? Oh, it's on the back. Okay, so this one's on the back and this one's on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to read it one more time. It says battery capacity 576 watt hours at 19.2 volts at 30 amps. Okay, and then this one says 19.2 volts at 15 amps. Okay, so obviously the voltage always goes up when you're charging, but let's see what it does here. 20 point. All right, we're gonna let that look at the input, guys. Nice, up to 500 watts input. All right, 100 watts on the solar input. That's what I was thinking of. And then you have UPS on both machines, so that's cool. I'll go over the differences between the two as this is charging. And then this will get you probably about just under 100 watts. I think it's rated at like 120, but usually you get about 100 watts or just under when you go from the car. So it'll be the same as the solar. It'll cap it at 100 if you can get that high. Okay, so let's see what we got here. As this is charging, we're going to look at the differences as far as numbers. So I always have my little cheat sheets here. These are the notes that I make before I look at the system. Sometimes I'll make a list and see, like in this situation, what's different between these two without going through all the specs of the screen. And the biggest ones for those who are in a hurry is, I'll run through the specs real quick. You both have 15 watt wireless charging up here. The output for the cigarette lighter is regulated, so there you have 100 and 120 watts respectively on that, which is 12 volts. And then you have 24 at 5 amps for that's a nice output, guys. That's really nice. And then you have the 12 volt 5 amps, 12 volt 5 amps, so that's the same. But now here's where it gets different. Now this is an early model. This is the first version of this system, and I'm glad I got it, because the E500LFP, they changed this input. Now notice that mine says 100 watts input output, and this one says 100 watts input output. This is actually 100 watts in and 100 watts out. I call it an any outie. This one is actually 100 watts in and 100 watts out. Now the difference is Pecron re-released this system, and the new one has 100 watts out and only 45 watts in. That's a big difference, guys. So if you could get the older version of this one, I recommend it. 45 is okay, but I like that 100 watts, because then you can power dump from another power station into this, or a Pecron EB or a EP 3000 battery, and then you can put that from the USB C out into this one, and then run this bad boy all night long, and you have a little power inverter. That's a pretty neat idea for camping. Then you have two 18-watt USB A's. These are called grandpa ports, and then that's quick charge 3. So if you don't have USB-C and you're still hanging on to your USB-A stuff, it's good, because you still have a few on there. You can go in the app and also turn off this screen thingy. Here's the little fan icon and the UPS. This is what you'll max out here. It's a 500 watt rated input, and you're only getting about just under 450 here. And then 20.8. We'll see what the resting voltage is when it's done. You can click these little buttons here. 71%, and what was that on, like 60? I think it was 67 when we got it, so it's going up pretty decently. And then we'll turn this one, and then as I show you, see, this lost 2% sitting here because the AC inverter's on. That could be the difference too, is the battery capacity. That's a big thing when you're in need of battery capacity. You might need that double sized. I think this one is like 159 right now, and I think this is 239. So there is a little bit of a difference there. And then you got two 120 or 110. Everyone calls them something different depending on what generation you're from. I call these 120 outlets. You get two of those, and you have a 600 watt inverter in there and a 1200 watt surge. Now remember, Pecron is not known for their surge power, so you got always figure you have less than a second for their surge. So just a heads up. I don't like that they turn these sideways, guys. I don't like that at all. I wish they would turn them the other way, and the reason is, if you put a let's say this is a DC brick, and you put a DC brick in there, you notice what happens? It covers both of the outlets. So just a heads up on that. Even if you had a skinny DC brick, like say this was really skinny, and you still put it this way, you see how it kind of gets too close to that one, so you can barely get a cable in there. So just a heads up on that, guys. Okay, and then you have the light is the same. Now the solar input is one thing that's different. Let's go over the big differences now. So the E500LFP is on the left, and the E is on the right. So it's reversed of what you see in this system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap these real quick, just so it's better for the video. And I'll bend this down a little bit. Don't put too much pressure on the cables, guys. Okay, I just wanted to make this video. There you go. Just so you can see it better. So now you have the E500LFP on the left, and you have the E500 on the right. Let's turn them back on. That's charging. What's the voltage here? 20.8. Okay, so yeah, that's probably a 19.2 battery. All right, so the obvious is the size difference, guys. The big difference. Now they don't have it in inches on their website, which I always dislike. I don't like millimeters, guys. I don't like to do the conversions. I wish that they would transfer that. Maybe I'll send a letter to or email to Pecron so they can maybe hopefully update that, because those of us in the United States, we like inches, and the millimeters and the kilos and all that, like kilograms. It's always confusing. We gotta bust out the calculator or the phone and figure out what the difference is. So the difference is obvious. You have just a little bit of a difference here. As far as the width, it's about the same. So you can stack them right on top of each other. They fit perfectly, so the width is the same and the depth is the same. The only difference is obviously the height, and that is because of the batteries. That's where that comes in. So you have, let's see, turn these back on. But this reminds me of the E2000 videos where I had to do this every like 30 seconds. So you have probably about 1.5 inches difference as far as the height. Otherwise, the systems are pretty much the same. This is 10 10.6 pounds, and this is 15 pounds. So about 4 point, what was it, 4, I lost track of where it was on the screen here. What did I say, 10.6? So the 4.4 pounds difference between the systems, which is not bad. 15 pounds you can carry with one arm as you're going down to the either fishing spot or camping spot or something like that. And then you have the AC charge. Now this is where it's a big difference now. If I charge this one right now, the max I could get is 300 watts is what it's rated for. You get, I think, about 250 or something like that. You always get less because it pulls from the wall at that much, but then there's a conversion loss where it goes into the battery. So on the record here, it's 300 watts pull from the wall on this system and 500 on this one from this system. And notice, actually I think you get about 270 on this one. Notice this one topped out at 451 I just saw. So that'll give you kind of an idea of what to expect if you buy this system and you have it. Let's do this here. Okay. Now you have lithium iron phosphate in both systems. Obviously, these are newer. Stay away from the lithium ion, guys. You've seen all the bad stuff on YouTube about it. The solar input is the same barrel. So you have that 5521 barrel, which is either one of these, the car charging or the solar, or if you have a DC plug or something like that to plug in there. Make sure the polarity is correct. You could get up to 100 watts on both systems, so that's the same. Now where it comes in difference, guys, is remember these Audi plugs right here. This is 100 watts in, and this is only 45 on the new systems. Like I said, we have the version 1 of this system, which I'm glad we do. That's 100 watts. I don't know why they changed that. Who knows? Maybe to sell this one or make this one look better. I don't know, but this one originally had 100 watts on the Audi, which I have, and I could power dump 100 watts into the system from this one. But remember, guys, you don't want to have Audi versus Audi. You don't want to put those together because it messes with the which direction it should go. So you know, like if you had a power bank or something like that and you want to dump that in there, or if you had some older solar panels that are 100 watts actually have a USB-C out or something like that, and you can add that, so you can put 2 solar panels on either one of these. And then you have, here's that's what we just talked about, the USB-C. That's a big difference, guys. And then the charging time. Now charging time is obviously going to be a little bit more because you have more battery on this side to fill than this one. Even though you have 300 watts and 500 watts respectively, it does take 80 minutes to charge this to 100%, and it takes 90 minutes, 10 extra minutes to get this one to 100%. And that's just because, like I said, there's more battery and there's double the battery. If this was 600 watt charging, then it would probably be, or even 550, then it would knock that back down. But Pecron, obviously, like any system, it has to slow down at the end. Well, let's see what we got here. Clicking all these buttons. Okay, it has to slow down at the end because you don't want to, you know, fill up a battery too quick. Now we're going to let that keep charging. It's at 79%. We're going to fan up to the screen up here. I got to find my mouse here. I almost lost my mouse here, my Ramblin Bob mouse. Okay. And we're going to go up to the screen here, guys, and while that's charging, we're going to look at this and leave these still where you can see the systems here. Okay, and then let's see, let's put this back on this side, and that way that cord won't get all squishy. All right, put that back over there, and then this over here. I should have wrote the paper the other way, but I wrote the paper first, of course. Let's see, 60 hertz. Okay, 2 hours, so 20 minutes left. I can ramble for 20 minutes, guys. All right, so let's look at the systems here as a whole. Let me see. Do I got the whole screen up here? Do I? I think I do. Okay. So let's see. As far as the pictures, let's take a look at the pictures and kind of see what to expect here, guys. Let's put the. Oh, so this is the E500. Okay, so I got them on the right. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, so I gotta swap them again. Guys, give me a second. So let's swap that one over there. And let's swap, let's see, I don't think I did it here. That's my wrestling channel, guys. That's pretty cool. That's another channel I have. It features figures and stuff on there. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? Here. Okay. Let's just leave them. Too much, okay. Too much work around here. Okay, so the E500 is on this side on the screen, and it's on this side on the bottom. So, okay, so at 159, that gold green code that we have, guys, that's Pecron's code. It allows you to have up to or not up to, it's 5% off any system you buy. And if you're new into the solar stuff, guys, I'd highly recommend getting something small like this. Don't run out and buy a huge system, because you might not like solar. You might think it's a headache. You might think, oh, it's a pain in the butt. You don't want it. And so start slow. So I guarantee you that you'll expand quickly, but start slow. Spend a couple extra bucks to get a small system like this. Let me space this, because we got some pretty good heat coming out of there, because it's charging obviously a lot. You always want to have space between your systems, guys, because of just that. You want to get the heat out of there, otherwise it stays in there and burns out the boards or something like that, or heats up the plastic, or just all kinds of stuff in there. On either system, you got 1 year plus 1 year hassle-free warranty. These are easy to ship back if you ever have a problem, because they're much lighter. The bigger systems, they cost up to $100 usually to ship that back, if it's not Pecron's fault, or if it's not a faulty equipment or something like that. So keep that in mind too, guys. If you get a bigger system, especially if you get a really big system and you have a problem, boy, that's tough to ship back. Like we have that E500LFP, we're waiting for the 2 batteries, but if we ever had to ship that back, think of that, guys. That's like 300, what is that? That's 60 times 4, so that's 240 plus 80. That's 320 pounds respectively for the entire system. Holy crap, Zill, I couldn't imagine what that would cost to ship back. Holy cow. Same inverter, everything's the same pretty much, other than the obvious elephant in the room, which is the size. I like that Pecron left them the same size, so you can put them and stack them. I like stacking my systems. I think that has a very clean look. Let's look at the pictures here, guys. Let's see if you can notice anything different here. Even though we have them in real time, we're going to look at the pictures while this is charging. That way we can see when that's done. I really want to thank Pecron, because, you know, we help them a lot, guys. We really do. Whenever we find like a mistake on their page, we always message to them. And, you know, for them, or for us doing that, they always kind of reward us, if you will, by sending us stuff like that. If we find, like, say we find like 10 mistakes on their website and say, hey, you know, yeah, it's 287 watt hours, not 288. You know, they'll always remember that. So far, they've been a very decent company for us. Well, like I said, we never get money from them. The only way we make money on this channel is obviously now that it's monetized for the commercial thingies. If people watch the commercials, we get a couple pennies, and then if people buy a system through our link, then we get a couple bucks like that. But we always support all power stations, all companies, because we like the technology. We're not a fan favorite of anybody. We like the technology. This is it was life changing for me. You know, I went from gas generators to batteries, and I didn't think that was going to be possible in my lifetime, possibly, because, you know, I'm older now, and you know, when you're 20, that, you know, the life's ahead of you, and when you get over that number 50, you start looking a little bit more dim, because you're like, not in my lifetime, the next generation will have it. But guys, we got lucky, we got it in our generation, so that was cool. Yep, here's everything you get with the E300. So you get the same stuff, guys, the same 2 plugs, except they don't have this little bad boy in there, which is the registration card. Very simple. If you want to go to Pecron's website, it's very simple to see that you know, you can register it on here. I'll show you here. If you go to, let me grab one more page here, and then I'll make it full screen so you can see it. And then if you go to the support here, there's 2 things that are important. One is the warranty and the contact us. So they're right here, guys, in the support if you need it. The first one is the warranty thing right here. You enter your stuff, email, place a purchase, so you let them know where you got it. Here, Amazon, eBay, or Walmart. If you bought it from their website, obviously they probably have your stuff already. So you know, I don't think they need that part. An order number, and then enter name, and then serial number, and then here's the date that you ordered, and then you hit subscribe. And then these are the or you could do it the long way here. So either way. And then your other one is the contact us, guys. If you have a question or something, they have a support at pecron.com, and then a service. So one is for support and one is service, depending if you need service or anything like that. So there's a new lady, I forgot her name, that works. Someone had mentioned, but she's really been helpful a lot. I want to say Lewis or Louie or something. I don't know. I can't remember the name, but one of the Scriber family brought it up to me. So good job, Pecron, for hiring the people that, you know, really want to help people. I like that a lot. Okay, so here's the specs over there while we're waiting for these bad boys to charge. The system pretty much is the same, except if you want those three major differences. The USB-C is enough to make me want this system over this one, and the charging if you're in a hurry. Although well, the strange thing is you get more in, but it takes the same amount of time because the battery's bigger. So I suppose that's not much of a difference. Because of the battery size. The battery capacity size, now that's a big difference if you're going camping or something like that. But the USB-C that's a big one for me. That is definitely a big one. I wish that the solar input was a little bit stronger on this one, but you're dealing with that same barrel, guys. So when you're dealing with that barrel, it's limited, so you're kind of stuck with that. But I would have loved to have seen solar input. Maybe the port would be different on this one, that you had maybe 200 watts of solar, maybe 300. That would have been nice. Let's see, they both have the UPS. Let's see here. That's the back. The lights, guys, here. I can't stress that enough, guys. If you have a light on your power station, I commend you. I think that is a huge plus for any power station. Light and easy to carry, guys. This one is, remember, 15 pounds. This is 10.6 pounds. Wireless charging, that's on both here. Pecron's also doing a much better job on the pictures. Good job on Pecron. So here's the 100-watt solar panel that you could buy. I think the 100-watt solar panel, guys, right now, let's see, solar panels. So let's pop that open here. They have a really good deal on solar panels, guys. Look at these, are IP67 too, all three of them. We have the older version. We have one of these, and then we have the older version of this one. They were $600 when we got them, and now it's only $400 for 300 watts. Ours is 330 watt rated. These are only 300, but that IP67, that's fantastic, guys. You could actually drop this in like 3 feet of water, pull it out, and then use it. That's amazing. Other than the port, remember the plug-in port, the MC4, if they're not connected, then it's not waterproof. But if they were connected, the IP67 on the MC4s as well. But look at this, $100. Allows you $100 for a portable IP67 solar panel, guys. That just a year ago, this would have cost you $200-300 easy. I mean, companies like X-Tower and Allpowers and the other companies, Bougerv, even Pecron, it was a lot more money. It was like, see here, regular price is $200 on this one, and then this is $420 for a 200. So they averaged about $2 to $3 per watt hour just last year. So the price of solar is really coming down. I don't know how the whole trade war kind of thing is going on with the silicon and all that stuff and the solar panels. I guess they're gonna make them go up in the future. I don't know, but right now at $100, that's a steal. If I needed that, I would get that. But guys, we have 400 watt panels now, so we're growing so quickly here, and that's what will happen with solar power, guys. You will grow quickly. You get the app. Pecron also has a version 1.7. I don't know if it's out yet, guys, but I believe it is by now. I just did a video about it. Uh-oh, I lost my mouse here. Hold on, give me a second. Uh-oh, my mouse disconnected. There it goes. Every once in a while, you get a disconnected mouse. I think the battery's running a little low on that one, so I got to charge it up again for the USB. This is at 91%, so that's where I'll stop it at 100. And then this one, now notice how much power this is using just sitting here. Oops, sorry guys. This one lost 3% of power just sitting here with both inverters on. So just a heads up, if you need that extra power, this might be a better option for you. Because, if you're camping and you had these both on, now of course you wouldn't leave them on idle like this. You would turn the system off. But I'm doing that just for give you an idea of how much power you lose, as you're waiting here. So we lost 3% since we started this video. I can't quite see what the video is at. I think it's at 20 or 30 minutes. But just something to be aware of here, guys. And then this one would obviously lose probably in half the time because of the same inverter size in there. That's also better for the batteries, guys. You have a 600 watt inverter pulling off a 300 watt battery pack. I like the 1-to-1 where your inverter is no bigger than the battery pack. I like that. I think it's a good balance for a system. And then I use 50% of the inverter, which is even better. So like say this one, I'd be using 300 watts on there. It's a 600 watt, so you're only pulling half the battery. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to you. But this one, if I pulled half, you'd be using 1-to-1. So we always try to stay within 50% or half of the rated power of the inverter of a power station. You can max them all the way out, of course, but we like to stay half. It's like a gas pedal on your car. you know, if you push it all the way down, your gas mileage obviously is going to kind of suck because you're pushing the system so hard. But if you push it halfway down, which that's still a lot, half the speed of the car, if it's, you know, rated for 120 miles an hour, you go 60. I think the car likes that a lot better. Same with the power stations. They don't have to run it so hot. So you can use the same solar panels on both systems, guys. The app, the 1.7 is out, I believe. So check that out, guys. If you're having trouble hooking to your phone, that's the last picture. That's why it won't go. Okay, so that one. And then this one has, here's your USB charge time, your AC charge time, solar panel 6 hours, car 6 hours. So that's your 100-watt input. And then here's your 500 from the wall, 1.5 hours, which is 90 minutes. And then USB-C, which is 6 hours, which is actually a little bit more than the because you're, you know, that's, well, it's the same as solar and the car, because remember, you're limited to 100 watts. Let's see what, and then here's your, this is how your batteries, so you got those, I forgot what these are called. I think they're like 16680s, or don't quote me on that. There's different names for, I call them huge AA batteries, basically, is the power cells, and they line them up like that on the bottom. And then this has one row, probably just one row like this right along the bottom, and that's where you get that extra 1.5 inches, because you need that second row of batteries for this one. Yeah, see, they got lots more pictures, so they're doing a lot better job. I don't know if 600 watts, now obviously he's grilling, so this is running something else, so I don't know if 600 watts is enough to run. Maybe a hot plate, if you had a small hot plate that runs 600 watts, but a 600 watt hot plate is usually, with, if you don't have a lid on the water, it's not really enough to boil water, so keep that in mind. You want like 1,000 watt or up to start boiling water, especially a large amount of water. If you make a macaroni and cheese or something like that, boiling water for noodles, spaghetti, stuff like that, you need more power. And these are limited at 600. Yeah, lots of pictures. I like the Pecron's going in the right direction. I think I yelled at him enough over the years here, guys. Okay, so you got, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pictures, and the original one had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 to 14. So I like that, guys. Pecron, keep doing what you're doing. I think you're going in the right direction. The English is getting much better on the description and everything, on the page, on the owner's manual and stuff. That really helps. It says LED light, perfect complement to RV viewers, van life, nomads, campers, and mobile workers. Nomads. I haven't heard that in a while. Here's MP4. That's your stuff that comes in the pack, which is same as this. Basically, it's the same cords on both systems here. I gotta hit this again. I'm pretty sure in the specs, or I'm sorry, in the app, in the specs of the app, you can keep the screen on. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I should grab the app. But I don't have these linked, obviously, to the Wi-Fi yet. I gotta put the code in. This one I did, and this one I have not yet. Should be a very simple press and go. And then this is down to 99%. So we're gonna finish up here, and you're gonna see in real time what it took to go from, I think it was 67% up to 100%. And notice it does do full blast all the way to the end. Some systems slow down at the end, like the E500LFP. When you get to 90%, the system cuts down to half power input, and I think that's better for the batteries. These I don't think do that. This one obviously does not, because it's still full blast all the way in. And then what I'll do is I'll plug this one into this one, and I'll charge this one right after for that last 3%, and see if that one does that as well. Let's see here. We got one more percent to wait here, guys. It says 0.10. I do like the systems that slow down, you know, to protect the batteries, but I don't think 500 watts. Oh, see here, it started dropping down. So now it's, this is called finalizing the battery, guys. If you see a Pecron system, it's 100% and it's still drawing in power, just leave it alone. It's finishing what it's doing. Basically, the best way to explain it that I've been told is, say you go to a ball game and you get there early, right? You can sit anywhere. You can, the energy, you're the energy, you can sit anywhere you want, right? But, you know, after the game starts, and if you show up late, well, it's a little harder to find a seat, right? So that's what the energy is doing. The last little bits and pieces, the BMS, the battery management system inside there, is figuring out where the energy should go. And basically it's like, you know, like one of those, I don't know what they call it. You know, the guy stands in the aisle, tells you where to sit. It's like that guy. The BMS is like that guy. He says, okay, you two, you got to sit right there because there's 2 empty seats, and then you have to sit over there because there's 1 empty seat. That's what the BMS does. It controls the charging safely. Now notice it's still 100%, but it's still bringing in power. So as I said before, let it finalize the system. The only one that, all these are fixed now, but the only one that really had trouble was the E500LFP. We still like the system, and I use it every single day. It's powering right now a 5 cubic foot freezer and a 7.5 cubic foot fridge flawlessly. And it's a full setup, so it's 8,064 watt hours with the 2 EB3000 batteries and a full stack, and works perfectly. And that will be in the RV in the future. It's kind of in our little coffee room there, where it runs all the goodness, you know, all the Starbucky kind of stuff. You know, my wife loves that stuff, so she spends much on those little, you know, like little cups. You put them in a little thing, and it pokes a hole in it, and it filters it through. And, you know, fancy stuff. I'm a hot chocolate guy. I didn't like it until she showed me that hot chocolate comes in those little cups. I don't know what they're called, like little cups. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It looks like a shot glass with a cover on it, you know. But okay, so this is almost done here. Yeah, so we have the E500LFP, and that is literally running both of those appliances. Plus, it also runs a 700 watt microwave, which it could run more if we needed to. It runs the I don't know, boy, I'm not a coffee drinker. She's got this thing called a frappuccino machine or something. It may, I don't know, it makes a ton of noise, and it makes the house smell good, so I'm all about it. But I don't like coffee. I never like coffee. But it makes a ton of noise. It's like, psh, it sounds like a car repair place. And where, you know how they're putting air in the tires? That's what frappuccino, whatever it's called. Frappuccino or crappuccino. I don't know what it's called. But it makes coffee, basically. It's this really super high, like, I don't know what it does, but it makes her energetic as heck. And she runs around the house after she has one. So that's her hobby is coffee. But and tea, guys, she makes a tea. Oh my gosh, she makes a tea. So we have water boiler for hot chocolate and stuff, that cup machine, that frappuccino, whatever it's called, that machine's in there. And then we also have a mixer in there, like everything that you would make, like coffee and fancy drinks and all kinds of stuff like that. We don't drink alcohol, but you know, fancy drinks like that, like you get when I go to Starbucks, when I hear these people make their order, I feel like I'm on another planet, guys. It doesn't even sound like English to me. It's like I want, you know, milk with no milk, and straw with half a straw. It's just the strangest thing I've ever heard. But that's the difference between being a Starbucks customer and a non-Starbucks customer. Like, if I had coffee, which I don't like it, I would just have it black. But I don't like coffee at all. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Tea I don't mind, though. Some tea. All right, so this is still finalizing. Notice how long it's taking, guys? So a lot of people will come to the channel and say, you know, hey, Ramblin Bob, I have a system, and the darn thing says 100%, but energy's still going in. What do I do? Simple. Leave it alone. It'll figure out what it needs by itself. And like I said, it's filling up those last little seats. And notice how much it came down. Remember, this was at 450, and now it's dropping. And you'll see this drop very slowly. It's the last little bits. It's just got to find seats. And then when this is done, I'll plop it in here as promised, and we'll see if that puts in full power. This is putting out hot air right into the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back over here, and then we're going to put this one over here, just so this system's not super hot. Yeah, because this one's getting warm because of that one. The big guy over here is breathing on the little one here. All right, so we got to wait here. 166, 163, 168. Now notice it'll bounce around, guys. But like I said, if it's at 100%, you'll be amazed, guys, of how many times we've had people come to this channel and ask us about this 100%, especially with the E500LFP. I don't know if I finished that story. I think I did. But if you have all the batteries, sometimes if you charge through the external batteries, you know, the EB3000s, the power meter up here doesn't understand it. So it'll stop charging the whole system at, say, like 72 or 82 or 85, you know, whatever it topped up, because the power meter doesn't understand that the system's full yet. So what it does is every you know, 1 to 3 minutes, something like that, 2, 3 minutes. This will bounce up 1%. It'll try to charge it and go, oh, sorry, and it'll bump this up 1 until it gets to 100%. Once it gets to an actual 100%, then your system and your power meter are recalibrated. That was one of the biggest problems with the E2000LFP. I don't know why I tapped on that one, but it's the bigger one. The E2000LFP is, that was something that Pecron had to learn back in the days, is to better configure their, well, you can get some exercise pushing these buttons, their power meter to their system better. So the E1500 and the E3600LFP, you can now charge only through the batteries if you want. You know, if you want to just charge through all 4 of the, say you have a full stack, we will have one very soon. Can't wait. Ooh, full stack. I always do that, full stack. You could charge through just the batteries if you want, or the system and the batteries, and the power meter will understand. The input meter will not understand that you're bringing energy into the system, because remember, that's only set up for the input ports of the main system, but the power meter will understand. So you don't have to worry about overcharging. There's separate MPPT controllers. This has one, this has one, and in the E2000LFP you have 2 on the main system. Well, actually, technically 3, because you do have that barrel, and then you got those 2 5-pins, which I'm glad they went away from. They went to XT60. Awesome upgrade, Pecron. Awesome, awesome upgrade. Much stronger, much more girth. Can handle the heat better, can handle the amperage better. I just, overall, I like it. Especially if you lose that port, you know, that 5-pin, you have to buy a Pecron port. But if you're kind of tech savvy there, you can build an XT60 port out of anything. I mean, that's a standard RC port, so that's a really good port. This is still going. It's not fine. And remember how it said it takes a little bit longer to finalize? This is the final step, guys. So you just, like I said, you just let it go. I don't know how long it's going to take, but you'll see this just drop off all of a sudden in like 10 watts or even possibly more. And then we'll do this. Now, this one lost 4% of just sitting here while I'm yapping. So this video is probably half hour long. I apologize, but I like to do this stuff in real time, guys, so people can see. I don't like cut, paste, and edit videos because you don't know really what's going on behind the scenes. That's just my opinion. I like real time. That way, you saw it. You know what I mean? There's no trickery. You saw it charging in real time. You saw how the system was in real time. I think that's a better display for anything as a review, but it does take a long time to watch the videos, and we value your time, so we thank you for staying with us this long. But oh, see, now it's starting to drop down. Oh, see, okay, now it's going in increments of 10, just like I thought. So 133. Oh, now it's oop, stay on there, buddy. Okay, so it's starting to drop down. So it's on its last leg here, guys. Thanks for staying with us so long. But like I said, I like to do this in real time so you can watch in real time. So that way, if you have a question or problem, you see what's happening in real time. And I just don't want to tell you about it. I want to show you. It's always better to see something than to be told about something. I'm a visual learner. I like that. You know, if you're going to show me how to, I could fix just about anything as long as you show me visually how to fix it. If you tell me about it, you know, I go to the left port and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you read it in a book or an owner's manual or an instruction manual. Sometimes it's tough to translate into your brain. But when you see it visually, it's just so much more pleasing. Reading a book is always nice, but watching a movie sometimes is better because you have the visual effects. So that's how I look at it. See, here we're down to 96 now. See, it's dropping. So it's almost to the final, and then I'll do that last one real quick, and then we just have to wait, you guys. We're at the mercy of the charging, but like I said, I want real time. All right, these would be great for portable, guys. We have a small, no, we're not really a small, 70 pounds, but you know those Aventon makes portable electric bikes, and you could strap one of these guys on the back or in a basket or something like that. It's only 15 pounds, so that's fine for the weight. I think the basket holds 20 pounds, and the you know, the rack in the back will hold, I think, 55 pounds. So either one of these would be fine. And you could like bungee strap it down or put it in a box. You know, one thing I'd like to see, guys, I really like to see, some companies made them a while ago. I want to say Jackery, but I'm not sure. Some company made power station bags, you know, nice, you know, the fireproof bags. I think they did that because they were lithium ion, and now they don't have to do it anymore. So maybe that's why they don't. These don't burn like lithium ion does. Ooh, it's almost done. I would like a nice pouch or a bag or a compartment to put these in for when you travel. That way it doesn't get all scratched up. I think that would be great. I value all of my power stations. All of my power stations, even the first one that I had, is still as mint as possible because I always value cosmetics. I like that. As a sound guy, a production guy, you want you want it to look nice, on TV or camera or something like that. I don't have the best cameras, but if I go to a show and I put up curtains, I want them to look straight and I want them to look nice because it's presentable. Imagine going to like a wedding or something, and the curtains are all crooked and the tablecloths are all crooked. It's horrible for pictures. That's your once in a lifetime event, so it's got to look nice for pictures so you have good memories. Okay, here, look at 37. We're down there. We're at the ending wire here. So notice how long this took, guys. Remember? So as I said, we got tons of people coming to the channel, and they're always saying my system must be broken. It's still charging. It says 100%. It's just finalizing. Just let it be. And now, obviously, when it gets to 100, if you want to keep an eye on it, good safety call. Always keep an eye on a system when you're charging. You don't want to charge anything out of your visuals, if you know what I mean. Like, check on stuff once in a while. Even if you charge it by solar, guys, check on your system throughout the day. You make sure it's in a safe place, away from combustible things and burnable stuff. Put it in a safe area, but check on it. Don't leave it. These power stations are like kids. If you don't check on them, they could have a problem. You know what I mean? So a kid will tear apart a house in 5 minutes if you leave them unsupervised too long. So those of you that are parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Leave your kid alone in a play area for 5 minutes, and you come back and the whole play area is like destroyed. There's toys everywhere. There's stuff swinging from the ceiling fan. I don't know how they do it or why they do it, but holy crapzilla. Okay, here 27. So we're at the final stage here. 24. We're dropping. Oh, went back up. Come on, Pecron. 22. 17. Okay, so I think it's the last couple, probably last 30 seconds to a minute here, guys. I mean, we're literally finding those last little seats in the baseball stadium to sit down here. 14. It's dropping like a rock now, guys. Oh, it went back up. 14. Come on, Pecron. What if I point at it? Alakazam. Boom. Boom. Okay. This seems to update like every 2 seconds, it seems. 17. We'll let it finalize totally. And then, like I said, once this gets all the way down to 0, then and only then your battery cells are actually really at 100%. And that's, if you speed charge it, it says 100, and then you pull it out while it's still putting in there, that means technically you're not at 100%. You're probably at 99. Here we're down, I saw 12. So, man, it's just little bits and pieces, guys. You just got to wait for it. You can't speed it up. You can speed up the video here, but in my side, 9, I want to do it in real time, like I said, so you can actually see what a finalized system looks like in real time. I don't like hitting this button all the time, guys, but that saves power, guys. Look at 4% still. That's 4%. Just sitting here with the AC and the DC inverters on, you're burning up that power. Come on, Pecron, finalize here. It is time consuming, isn't it? Just to finalize that last battery. But if you have a big system like our E500LFP with an 8,000 watt-hour system, 8,064 watt-hours, that takes time to finalize, guys. But you have much heavier solar input and AC input, so it's a little easier, but it does take some time. All right, I saw it go down to 7, and eventually you'll see it go all the way down. You know what, though? I think when it gets this low, remember, you have UPS. Oh, I forgot about that. So it probably uses about 9 to 12 watts with the UPS, and probably a little bit more if you had the Wi-Fi on. I did forget about that with these systems. Yep. So now it's 100%, but like I said, it's because it's using the UPS. You're still using. Let's turn off. Let's turn off the AC, because that's where your UPS would be. We'll turn off the AC on this one, and let's see if this goes down. See, now it stayed at 7. And now if you turn off the DC, see, it went down to 4. And this one, if we turn off the DC, it'll probably turn off. So, because we have nothing hooked there. We got the AC. There you go. So that one's turned off. So now you're down to 4. So now the system is 100% off, and it's finalizing. This is how I should have charged it the first time. But it wouldn't have made much of a difference, other than you can, see that the final, and then eventually it'll stop. Like, that's the last itty bitty little bits of information that or battery. See now 2, it's dropping like a rock now, guys. We just gotta wait for it. That's all. Sorry about the long video, guys. Down to 2 watts. I think that's dang 100%. But let's see what it does. Let's see if it drops all the way to 0 like it's supposed to. It's possible that you're using the 2 to 4 watts to run the screen. That is a possibility. But usually this goes all the way down to 0 on most systems. That kind of power spikes to 9 watts. I would say that's finalized, guys. When you, I do believe, like I said, maybe it's possible that the system uses 2 to 4 watts to run this little screen. That's a possibility. So we're going to say this is full. When it gets down that low, guys, then I think you're okay. Some of the systems go all the way down to 0 input. Let's see. But because these systems have the charge through and the UPS, maybe it's a little different. So now we're going to plug this one in real quick, and you get to see this one. The video is going to be a little bit longer, guys. Sorry about my rambling, but I love to talk about this stuff. And I'm really, really happy that you guys like to listen. So that's we can learn together. Let's see here. Now we got to see if it'll kick on. So 96%, the input is 0. The MPP controller's talking, and there it goes. Sometimes, also guys, if you plug it in, it doesn't go right away. Give it a second. I know we get excited in life. We want to hurry up and get stuff done. I think computers did that to us. I think computers just pushed our brains and our mentalities to, get it done now. Do you guys remember that news guy who's like, F it, I'll do it live? It's like that. We get so impatient in life sometimes that we gotta slow down a little bit. It's better for the health anyway. Slow down a little bit. Count to 10. Count to 10. Or in this instance, count to like 2 or 3. But now we're gonna finalize this last bit, and then you're gonna see this one. And then I think that's about it, guys. That's the systems as a whole. I think this is a nice little cube. It's a nice little square. It kind of reminds me of a car battery. It's the same size. This one's a little bit more flat, but like I said, you could stack them up like this right on top of each other. I think that's awesome that they fit perfectly. Let me put this up so you can see what I'm talking about here. I think that's fantastic. I use a GoPro, guys, so this one actually looks bigger than this one, but it's not. It's like a fisheye effect. But let's see here. And then we'll turn this one on just to see if it turns back on. I always like to double check and make sure that stuff works, guys. There you go. You can hear the fan kick on right away. Now 100%, 33 hours of standby. This is at 97. And you know what I'll do since we're waiting? Because we got to wait another probably 5 minutes here. I'm going to grab, guys, give me a second. Let me grab a small portable heater, and we'll try that right away. So give me a second, okay? Yeah, I really like making these videos for you guys. I hope you're happy with the videos. My production could be better, and I understand that. As the channel grows, we have a long way to go. I like to do like live streams, and I like to get big enough. Like some of the channels, they do giveaways and stuff. Our funds are very low here, so we're trying to get there one day. Hopefully, we'll have giveaways and stuff like that. I'd love to, hook up with the companies and say, hey, let's start giving these away. Maybe one lucky winner or something. To tell the best story, the best, whatever. Best example that you had for, what you use a power station for and how it's helped you and stuff like that. All right, let's turn off the DC because we don't need that. Okay, so you gotta hold it down. Some systems, guys, you have to hold the button down. Some you don't. Some you just tap them. Some of Bluettis, you just tap them. Okay, so we're gonna try a 200-watt heater while we're waiting. It's a little chilly today in here because it's getting to be fall time, which is a happy October, everybody. Happy Halloween coming up. That's one of our favorite. Actually, that's one of our favorite holidays. We really enjoy Christmas too. That's the time of the year where everybody is nice. Everyone seems to be nice to each other. Hold the doors open for each other, things like that. We got to get back to that, guys. Okay, so here's 210 output, and this is a 200-watt rated, so that works fine. That's at 98%, so that's doing what it's doing. Now notice the speed here, guys, 160. And remember, that is a 300 watt AC input, but notice it's only bringing it 160. So this one actually might drop it down at the finalization stage to that what's it called? Like a half charge, to protect the battery cells. This one didn't do that, but this one seems to do that because that's a very low input. Okay, so that works. And then we're going to try a little bit heftier load here. We're going to try a 400. Well, you know, guys, I could make these videos all day long. I could ramble and yap about this stuff all day long. Some people were telling me I should get my own live stream thing and you know, just talk about power stations all day long and do all the companies. That would be a dream of mine, just to have a channel. I kind of have it now, but like, you know, an official channel for one of the companies where you just sit and like Tim over at Bluetti, we're on his channel all the time, or Bluetti's channel all the time, and he's the manager guy for Bluetti. We work with him as far as answering questions and helping people learn about power stations and stuff. All right, let's turn this one on. And guys, it's fun. I could talk about the same system for 50 hours. Just, that's how much it's changed my life. It's no more generators, no more gas, no more explosions, no more danger, no more cordoning off the area so no one goes near, no more heat, no more burns, no more. I mean, look at the list I went through, and that was just top of my head. There's so many. No more storage. People aren't going to steal it because you can keep this inside your RV or your camping tent or your cabin. Where a generator, you can't do that. You got to leave it outside. It's literally changed my life as far as how I use energy. It's also taught me to conserve energy a lot better than just, you know, be kind of willy-nilly wasty, because energy, it doesn't grow on trees, I suppose. You know, I suppose you could cut the tree down and have energy, but it's really changed my life. I hope it's changed yours. I hope it's for the better. Absolutely. And that way, you know, you guys can enjoy this. This is an awesome. We'll get 2% already. We burned out of there, but we're drawing heavy now. We're drawing 200 and 400 watts. Do you guys want to see them both at the same time? See if the inverter can handle it while we're waiting here. See, now this is 100%, so that's going to finalize. So let me slide this over this way just a tad. We need more room here. And then you don't want to put hot air on cords, so we'll put that over here like this. And since it's a little chilly today, I will gladly accept the heat. All right, so there's going to be 600 watts plus. Let's see if it can handle it. And while that is finalizing, see, it's, oh, there. Okay, so this one actually went down to 0. So maybe the other one would have, oh, it spiked. This one says it has UPS, guys, but I don't see, oh yeah, that's right. You have to, I forgot, you have to turn on the inverter to get UPS. There it goes, now UPS is on. So now we can turn it off, and then that'll finalize, and there you go. So that'll, obviously, because I spiked the system, and then it'll go back to 0. So this will eventually probably go, but notice the little spikes. That's like a trickle charge, guys. So every once in a while, you'll see when it's plugged in the wall, it'll just trickle charge a little bit. That's it's a good and a bad thing. It's holding 600 just fine. It's a good and a bad thing, because sometimes it's nice to keep them topped up, but shoving too much energy all the time for a long duration kind of wears on the battery too. Imagine if you were tired and you're a runner, and I just force you to keep running. Eventually, you're like, nah, I don't want to run no more. So, okay, so this is all the way up here. And then let's see if we can, you know, let's do, heck it, we're here. Let's plug this in here. And let's see if the UPS can handle 600 from the wall. Input, and now the UPS should turn on the inverter, and then there's a UPS. So that lickety split, you didn't see any kind of a interruption here, guys. And then I'll also unplug it while these are on too. Now notice that the input is just starting here, and it's only putting 15 watts towards the batteries, and the rest is going straight through. Oh, 55, and the rest is going straight through to the output. Oh, now it's spiking. There you go. So you got 600 watts and 612 to the 2 heaters. So, and you have 400, so you have almost full charging going in and a little bit more going out. So that obviously is not going to be able to keep up with that unless it's going straight through for the 600, and then the extra is going into the batteries. So if I am pulling 1,000, if I'm pulling 1,000, I'll know, because this will heat up. Let's see how it does it. Let's see if this number goes down or up. We'll go one number and then we'll end it there. All right, we just got to wait till this goes up to either 96 or drops to 94. We'll see. Yeah, look, it's holding 614. Not a problem. And that, ooh, that heat feels nice, guys. I hope you're in a warm area. When it starts to snow, guys, you got to do 2 things for me. You got to get cookies, and you got to hot chocolate, and you got to sit in the window and watch the snowfall. That's a favorite of mine for years, ever since I was a tiny little Ramblin Bob. And that's something I always enjoyed. It's just a beautiful time where all that beautiful snow falling like that. It's gorgeous. Oh, okay, so it is going up. There you go. So you're actually pulling That's not, it's not getting warm here. Let me get the temperature gauger. All right. Let's see here. Look at that. 77.4 degrees. That's nothing, guys. It's nothing. Literally nothing. I mean, that's not even enough to I think it's warmer in this room. Look at that. 77. Oh, it's 74 in this room, and it's 77 on the powers. That's nothing, guys. Nothing. But look at it. It's going all the way up, and it held 600 plus watts for a long time. Good job, Pecron. That's all you want, right? You want the product to work. That's all you need. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one on real quick, and we're going to double check and see how quick this battery. We're going to real quick. Whenever you're dealing with heaters like this, you got to switch them quick. Otherwise, see how the element turned off? So this one will not turn back on because it overheated that quick, guys. See? Doggone it. Okay, and then notice this one. This one was flashing. Oh, see the output? Wow. Oh, you know what, guys? Oh, that's right, because when you turn it on, let that calm down a little bit. You only have 600 watt outs. Wow, look at that, guys. There it goes. Okay, so it took a little kick in the butt, but because they were hot, it's kind of like, you know, when you unplug like a compressor, sometimes it needs more to get back. It's hard to, like, okay, if you want to try, well, be careful when you try this. If you unplug a air conditioner while it's working, which is not a good idea, you will, when you plug it back in right away, you will see a power spike. Like a 5,000 BTU burns about 450 watts, give or take. And if I were to unplug that, say you pop the inverter and you plug it, turn it right back on right away, it spikes to like 2,000 watts. So that's a big thing in the system, to where it has to kind of reset that compressor in there. So it's very, very power hungry. And then notice that once obviously these get going, 623 watts on this system, and it's handling it just fine. But I like pulling 600 watts of just about a 600 watt battery rather than a 300 watt battery. So if I was to use this one all the time, I would turn this one off, and then I would have this one. Boy, that little fan is kicking now, eh? Kicking like a chicken. And there you go. I would use it like that, guys. Because like I said, why push the car so hard? Why push the car? Well, I think we'll leave it at that. I think a very successful first test, unboxing and everything, of the Pecron E500LFP. Guys, if you're new into solar, the link is in the description. You get 5% off if you never bought one of these systems before. If you want to try it, 159 bucks. That brings it down to like 150. This is 239. That brings it down to, I think, about 12 bucks. So that brings it down to just under maybe 228 or 227, something like that. That's not a lot of money to learn about this stuff and test it, see if you like it. Is it a waste of your time? Is it worth pursuing? And that way you don't go out and buy a $5,000 full stack like we did, E3600 LFP with 4 batteries, and then you find out, you know, I don't like solar. I think it's dumb. So all right, guys, ramble on, be safe. Links in the description if you want to check it out, and I'll see you next time here at Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye, guys.